Sup guys, it's Destro. I'm back with another guide, this time for PvP. This build has been working wonders for me and versus many top players in the beta. This is recorded on the beta server slash game, but it'll still work well as the game launches, I'm pretty sure. So as soon as the game launches, you'll be able to see this guide and my PvT guide, and then the PvZ guide will be a day or two after the release. So make sure to be looking out for that. There's also going to be a mechanics guide that's going to be made, and let's get into it. So we're not gonna. Some people have been doing, you know, Nexus first before the gate, but as the game progressed, people slowly stopped doing that. We're not gonna scout right now. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna 16 gate and 17 gas. And the goal really is to have a lot of gas early so that I can rush disruptors. Now, 80% of the people on the beta have been rushing a blink, which you would think would do well versus my build, but I've been having a lot of good success putting on the pressure with my disruptor, with being the quicker player to get disruptors out. And this build has a lot of flexibility. You can go for full all-in, although I don't recommend it, as it didn't work for me, and I've adjusted pretty quickly to the situation. So at 20 supply, we're going to cut probes for a little while, get the cyber core, get the second gas, and get a pylon inside the mineral line. We're actually going to put it right here so that it covers pretty much everything. There you go. And then we resume Stalker probe production. One thing that is a little bit difficult with this build is, well, I think with any build really in PvP, is defending the adept rushes. It takes a lot of technique, it takes a lot of practice to defend them. So right now you would think my first thing would be the mothership core. No, but it's an adept. That's the first thing I'm going to make. The mothership core is going to be delayed up until we get the robo down. So the robo will be made here shortly as soon as we get enough minerals. Here you go. And then we're going to resume probe. We're going to resume chrono boost on probe production as soon as the adept comes out. Now, following up the adept and some probes will be a stalker and a mothership. We'll make the mothership at the natural, and then the stalker. Now, obviously, there's no AI in the game. There's no opponents, so I'm not playing versus anyone. You want to grab a really quick gas here. If you scout your opponent and you don't think he's gonna adept rush you, you can cancel the stalker, which will get you a faster robo base. So again, you can adjust the build to how you think your opponent will play. You know, maybe you're playing versus a friend and he never adept rushes. This could be good. But then again, if he doesn't adept rush, it could be an oracle rush, which the stalker can be useful for. So we got the robo bay put down. I think it was at 37. Then all the notes for the build orders will be written down in the description below the video player. There'll be also a little text over here you guys will be able to look at. Pylon positioning, always very important. One pylon in the mineral line at the natural. Let's get the observer. I'm going to chrono boost it. I mean, I'm not playing versus anyone here, but just sometimes I chrono boost it, sometimes I don't. And we'll be adding more gates shortly here. Not sure with my pylon positioning yet where I want to put them. So we're going to chrono a disruptor. At this point, pretty much the chrono is going to stay on the robo. Let's add 2 gates. It's a little bit awkward. There you go. This big pylon powering everything isn't really the best, but we want to split up the gates now. Some people will get an early forge. The thing is, the disruptor doesn't judge whether you have an early forge or not. I'm actually a little bit supply block right now. It's a little bit embarrassing. Shouldn't be for too long, however. So yeah, the disruptor doesn't judge whether you have upgrades or not. So in my opinion, it's not that pressing to get the forge. What I focus on is my 5 gates and my 2 disruptors and an early Twilight. The Twilight gives you mobility to attack. You're going to stop at 16 probes here, transform the gates, And as soon as we get the War Prism going, then we can start moving out. As you can see, I don't have a whole lot of money. I'm pretty tight in cash. I also have a lot of gas, but it's going to be useful for later. And that was actually a little bit of a mistake. And now we can move out. Now let's assume he's cross map. All right, let's assume he's cross map and he took this base, because people usually expand around the same time. So he's cross map. I'm starting blank. I'm transforming my gates, and I'm emptying my pockets so that my push can be as strong as it can be. Okay. So actually, there's a tiny supply block. Now I have the Warp Prism. And we're gonna expand. 6 minutes, we're expanding, and a pylon. Now the Warp Prism is gonna allow me to reinforce that push. Let's say my observer is on top of his army. And I know I'm still floating gas. I can reinforce with, I'm gonna reinforce with disruptors. My pylons are finishing, and I keep making stalkers, and I'm putting on the pressure. Now, I could have met him. He could have been the one putting on pressure if he went blank, and that's completely okay. You also want to be adding a forge as the game progresses. But honestly, this build has won me so many games. I'll probably show you some footage of me versus Wellnu in the guide. I'm not sure yet how I'm gonna make it. Oh, I'm actually supply block. Let's cancel that disruptors. We can make 2 more stalkers, and then you just zone out and really do your best. And also, there's the disruptor is a 21-second cooldown. So if you have 2 or 3 disruptor, you want to take a long time before you fire your shots of disruptor. You want to be very patient, because the moment he knows all your disruptors are on cooldown is when he's going to fight back and put a lot of pressure, maybe blink on top of your disruptors. And that's why the Warp Prism is so good too, because you can lift up and save your disruptor. But if he snipes the Warp Prism, then you might be in trouble. I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. It's a really good build I've been doing. If there's anything new that becomes more successful or more powerful, or just even, you know, a more diverse build, I'll definitely be making a guide. Just check out on my YouTube. I'll be posting a lot. Thank you again for watching, and have a good time.